Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. From the Business Times news desk, here are your headlines. What you need to know. President Donald Trump said the U.S. is engaged in talks with Iran, while Tehran has flatly denied that any negotiations are underway or scheduled. Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar's detained former leader, met with an International Committee of the Red Cross representative yesterday. Singapore's manufacturing sector expanded at a slightly faster pace in July, buoyed by the ongoing AI-driven upcycle. In world news, U.S. President Donald Trump said talks with Iran were underway, describing them as Tehran's last chance to reach an agreement and end the 5-month conflict. However, Iran swiftly rejected the claim, insisting no negotiations are taking place or even planned. The conflicting statements underscore how distant a diplomatic breakthrough appears. Iran's foreign ministry said no meetings with U.S. officials have been scheduled, with all negotiators remaining in the country except Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who is on a religious pilgrimage in Iraq. Tehran said its only ongoing discussions are with Oman over the management of the Strait of Hormuz. Regional officials and analysts believe Iran is seeking to outlast Washington by using the Middle East's key shipping lanes and energy infrastructure as leverage, increasing the economic costs of the conflict in hopes of forcing concessions over the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is preparing to scale back its diplomatic presence overseas. According to sources, the State Department has notified Congress of plans to close 5 foreign missions in Grenada, Japan, Indonesia, Cameroon, and Canada. The move represents a rare downsizing of America's diplomatic network. The sources requested anonymity because the notification remains confidential. In the region, Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar's detained former leader, met with an International Committee of the Red Cross representative yesterday after years of speculation about her health and concerns about her safety. Suu Kyi has been in military detention since February 2021, when the armed forces ousted her elected government in a coup that plunged Myanmar into political instability and ongoing conflict. South Korea saw inflation cool more than expected in July, thanks to lower oil prices. Consumer prices rose 2.8% from a year earlier, easing from June's 3.2% pace and coming in below economists' forecasts. On a monthly basis, prices slipped 0.2%, the first decline in 8 months, as fuel costs fell sharply. Even so, officials say inflation risks have not disappeared. In Singapore, Singapore's manufacturing sector expanded at a slightly faster pace in July, buoyed by the ongoing AI-driven upcycle, despite mounting supply chain pressures caused by the prolonged Middle East conflict. The Purchasing Managers' Index, or PMI, edged up 0.1 point from June to 51.4. The latest reading marks the 12th consecutive month of expansion. In other news, Defense Minister Chan Chun-sing said Singapore must continue developing unique strengths and maintaining policy consistency to remain competitive in an increasingly uncertain geopolitical landscape. He was speaking at a keynote dialogue during the 18th ASEAN and Asia Forum, organized by the Singapore Institute of International Affairs, or SIIA. He added that ASEAN has strong potential to drive economic growth by deepening regional integration across energy, finance, and digital infrastructure, while ensuring projects remain commercially attractive to investors. Realizing these long-term investments, he said, will require close collaboration between governments, financial institutions, and the private sector, backed by clear policy roadmaps and disciplined capital deployment. In companies and markets, the Japanese yen held on to most of its recent gains today after coordinated intervention by Tokyo and Washington last week helped stabilize the currency and discouraged investors from rebuilding bearish positions. The yen eased 0.1% in early Asian trading to 157.35 against the US dollar, after touching a 3-month high of 155.20 in the previous session. Despite the slight pullback, it remains well above its 40-year low. Against the Singapore dollar, the yen remained little changed at 122.84. And stocks we're watching include Lend-Lease Global Commercial REIT and Parkway Life REIT, after the real estate trust reported a 1.6% decline in revenue at 77.1 million Singapore dollars for the first half-year period, though its distribution per unit, DPU, rose 14.6%. Its first half ended June 30. For updates throughout your day, visit bt.sg. And don't forget to check in with our daily wrap podcast, Market Focus Daily, at 6 this evening.